Hi everyone, this is Christine Josty from Mail Something Pretty. Thank you for joining me today for our project. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I also teach classes, both local and online. Mostly cards, but sometimes I do some 3D projects, and that's what I wanted to show you today. I made these fun little Post-it holders, so you know, the little Post-it stick-up notes. And they are great for a backpack or a pocketbook, your desk, or anywhere that you need, you know, just to write a little note. I wanted to show you where my inspiration came from, which I've actually used up. You can see my Post-its are all gone. Marilyn, a demonstrator friend of mine, made this. We were at a Stampin' Up! Event, and a lot of times we hand each other out little swaps or pillow gifts or little things. So she had handed these out, and I really liked it. And so I kind of made my own version, and that's what I wanted to show you today. So I will show you there's slight differences between hers and mine, and I'll show you that, and then you can kind of incorporate whichever one you're going to do into your own project. So I'm going to use my Stampin' Trimmer. I already cut my base. So actually this is one of the kind of the differences. Marilyn had made hers out of a nice designer paper, a specialty designer paper, and that sometimes means it's thicker. So it is much thicker than the paper that I'm going to use. You can even see I started to do it and I scored it, and I don't know if you can see, but the score started to rip, so we certainly don't want a ripped notebook. So I'm going to show you how I made it more reinforced, and she reinforced her back, but you can kind of incorporate both. So, and I have my measurements here. So the base, whether you're using just designer paper or you're going to use the base like I did, is 8 1/4 by 3. And then we're going to score it. And I will put these measurements, because you can see my notes are kind of messy. I will put these measurements on my blog, and so you can just look them up there, and that's at Mail Something Pretty. But we're going to score at 2 1/4, 2 3/4, 5 3/4, and I have to extend my arm for the other one, and the last is 6 1/4. Okay, and so you're just going to fold them right on the score lines. You can burnish them with a bone folder. I tend to use my fingernails. Okay. All right, so that's really the base of the Post-it note holder, whether you use a solid base or a patterned base. And so the difference is, what I did is I just cut some patterned paper, and we'll just put that on here. And so those measurements, oh, I didn't write down on my paper. They're 1/4 inch smaller. So let's see. This one is, and I'm just using the multi-purpose glue because I just wanted it to be strong. Sometimes I did just want if I use, tape, I didn't want it to kind of peel back. I think what I need to do is put my glasses on. I'm having trouble seeing. All right, so that's better. So this is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. I believe this is 2 3/4 by 2. Oop, that goes on this one. And then this is 2 3/4 by 1 3/4. So all I did was measure with the folded marks and just did a 1/4 inch thinner. Okay, so there we go for that. And then, I'm trying to think, we'll do it this way. Okay, so we don't need that anymore. We don't need that anymore. I already, just for the sake of the video, excuse me, stamped my beehive here. And so Marilyn had done just a square. She turned it into a diamond. And I had actually done some other ones with diamonds and fun words, and they were cute. But then I said, oh, that would look nice on the diamond, and then I said, oh, but this would look really cool. So that's kind of how I decided to use the bee paper. And so I stamped the beehive in So Saffron ink, and I cut it out with the matching dies right there. And actually, when I get to it, I cut out the gold bee with this die. But you can, I'm just showing you the format. You can do however you want to decorate it. One thing I did do is I cut a blank one too, and I'm going to glue these two together just for a little bit more stability, because this is where we'll be opening up the little holder here. And so I just thought a little reinforcement would be good. So it just makes it a little thicker. Okay, so we are going to put our Post-it note on. And I'm going to use tear and tape because it's much stronger. And actually, I'll show you, once I get this on there, I'm going to show you one other thing. And the tear and tape is great, so you can just see that I just tore it with my fingers. If you were using just the designer paper, one option of making it thicker without using that solid base that I used is just put a slightly smaller piece of cardstock on the back of the Post-it note, and that will give that a little bit more durability as well. Okay, we had done some in my club, and so we kind of did it that way. But I actually really like this this base, because then you can use any papers. I was kind of searching for thicker printed papers, and they're not all thick. So this opens up your options a whole bunch more. Okay, and here's a little trick. So the holder will go like that, and the Post-it note is going to go right here in the middle. It's exactly the same width. So what I did, or it's the same size as that square, I folded that back so that I'm going to line up the top of my Post-it with the top of the fold here, and I just need to pull it down so I can actually see what I'm doing. It just helps lining it up instead of kind of guessing in case you went off, but you see how the edges are exactly the same because it's really like that base is the same size as the Post-it holder. Okay, and so now we're almost done. It's a quick little project. I'm going to use tear and tape again, and I'm putting it not on the whole part of my beehive, like 2/3 or a third the way down, because we want it to have a little overhang. And I'm just peeling off this top layer, which I always have trouble because my fingernails are so little. There we go. Okay, and so what I did here is I actually left it here, and so it opens like that, so there's a little bit of an overhang. So what I'm going to do is actually just put it on this way. So if I had just guessed, I could have guessed wrong, and then you saw the tear and tape. So I'm just going to slide it up until I don't see the tear and tape any longer. And I'm going to make sure it's even on both sides and straight. And that's kind of how I got my beehive on there. And then for the, oh, what happened to the other Velcro? Oh, it's on this side. You can't see it because it's invisible. For the Velcro pieces, I bought these at a sewing store. I think Joann Fabrics. I'm sure Michael's or Hobby Lobby or wherever have them, but they look like they come in different sizes, but you get like the two sides that stick together, right? And so this happens to be 5/8 of an inch. You can get whatever size you want, but I just wanted you to see the package. So you can do either. I'll show you. This one, because one side is white and one is clear. So depends on, because this has worked out good because it was white paper, whereas this is black paper. So I have to decide, do I want the white up here? And I think I might do it that way. Okay, I know, big decisions, right? So you just peel off one of the sides of the sticky part. Oh, shoot. Hold on. See if I can peel that off. I forgot actually an important part. All right. I cut out a square. So the original also had a little square. Again, reinforcement, because you're going to be opening and opening and opening. You just don't want it to rip off. You want it to be strong. So I just cut a square. You can do any size. This happens to be 1.5 inches both directions. And I'm just going to put a little tear and tape on here again and peel off the top. There we go. And then I'm going to put it so it's partly on the honeycomb and then mostly on that. And that, again, it's just giving a little stability because you're going to be opening this a lot. And now I'm going to put my little circle right there. And then this is a cool way, instead of like guessing where to put it, you take the part that goes with it. I'm sure there's a term. I don't know if it's female, male, or I don't know. I'm sure it's something. So I'm going to stick it right on there, sticky sided up. And then I'm going to just make sure my Post-it note is closed and lined up. Close it. And then when you open it up, carefully, because it just stuck, it's already on there exactly where you need it. Isn't that a good trick? Okay, so my last part is, where did that V go? You might hear the garbage truck going by outside. I cut this out of gold foil paper with those dies, and I'm just going to use just a little of this multi-purpose liquid glue. Now the little B here doesn't give you a whole lot of places to put the glue, but I'm really just doing it right in the kind of that body area, because we're not going to be opening it up with this. We're going to be opening up from below, so I'm not too worried about it. So there you go. There's a fun little Post-it note holder. Let me close all of them so you can see the patterns I picked. I think these would look great with all sorts of our papers. Our papers are beautiful. And then all different covers. Again, you can do, words are nice with different shapes, or just think of however there's enough of an overhang to lift up your handle. So there you go. So thanks so much for watching. Christine Josty of Mail Something Pretty. I encourage you to go to my blog at mailsomethingpretty.com and see what else I have that might be interest of you, and I encourage you to sign up for my mailing list as well, and if you do so, a free tutorial will be sent to you on another project. So thank you so much. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.